Hang on. I know this is rude. All that good foamy, sugary, cinnamony stuff's gonna melt, so. Good morning. So we have a prepper love song, right? Yeah, you need to go listen to Randy Travis, the good old days of country music. Gosh, whew. I told you so. We told you so. Trigger warning, trigger. It's not funny. It's not. What can you do? I mean, it's just not funny. It's not funny. So I just want to go and tell you that I know somebody already was like, I hate her. I hate that girl. Patera, all she's doing is gaslighting. She said, did you hear her? She said, I told you so. Yeah, she's only been making videos about homesteading, self-reliance, homeschooling, preparedness for what, 25,000 years now, but she said, I told you so. Okay. I'll stop being a butthole. It's early. Come on. It's 15 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. Look at this. We're a little bundled up this morning. Now, it won't be so bad this afternoon. Guys, we are is today the 4th? I don't even know anymore. Do you know where you are? Some days I don't, but here's the deal. We were driving yesterday. The leaves are really starting to show some action here. I want you to know for probably the last, 15 years plus, maybe 20 years or more of my life, I have complained about how we never get to really wear sweatshirts and sweaters anymore in October. You know, sweater weather, that hasn't existed here for a long time. Does this year? Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe we'll bounce back up to 95 next week. Who's to say? Who knows anymore, right? But for it to be October the 4th and you're like, man, this feels like October the 20th or like much later. A lot of times we don't see changes in the leaves and whatever, sometimes until after Halloween. It depends on the year. Now, I know we got hot this summer. So yes, I understand you're going to say that's part of it. Probably so. But when you tell me we're going to be almost freezing this coming weekend, which is barely the second week of October, I don't know. Something's going on. My deer are coming out of the woods. Yeah, my deer, I can hear them. Hopefully you'll get to see some in this video. So here's the deal. So we're going to talk it out. So listen, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. We're going to be a little silly this morning because, there's just these moments where you stand and you look around or you say, I told you so. I don't know what else to say. Guys, people are starting to really lose their grip, zip, lip, whatever you want to call it. That's actually been going on. So I don't know. You're not under a rock here. So I know you know that. It is intensifying in a lot of ways, just like everything else is. Imagine that. Imagine that. Can you imagine a world where you're in an economic collapse, a food system collapse? You're a month before an election in the most supposed predominant country or in the world, and it's in a month. And I haven't seen the first ad for anything with that. I just want to drop that off here. I've seen a few little local signs when we had early voting and different things like that, but I want you to think about this for a minute. I was talking to somebody very knowledgeable last night, and I said, have you noticed something? Have you seen any ads? Do you see a whole lot of chatter about elections or, ooh, little buggy, or different things like that? And this guy said, well, no, I haven't. I'm like, gosh, it's almost like we're not going to have an election in November because you would never think otherwise. No discussion at all. I'll just leave that where that's at. If you hear the dogs barking, it's because deer are running around, by the way. So here's the deal. So guys, I want to say this right now. Your new ballad, your new theme song is, I told you so. It's not funny. But this is the world that we're in right now. Because I am getting absolutely... I don't want to say inundated. That's probably a little bit exaggerative, but there is a whole lot of, I can't believe this is happening. What are we going to do? And a lot of, You know, it's almost like here's the panic button and people have their finger on it. They haven't quite pushed it completely yet, but they're pretty much there. And so what I want to tell you is let me remind you, yes, if you have been with me for a long time, if you are in this crowd, if you are the over 401,000 awesome people subscribed to this channel, and you know, then you already know where we're at. You already know what's going on, and you already know what you need to be doing. Okay, so this is a lot of preaching to the choir. But I want to remind you that you do not need to pull back in terms of anything that you were doing. You need to put the hammer down. Today, I'm up, dressed, ready to go because I'm going over everything that I have. I'm going over my full list of preps. I'm going over my full list of feeds. What do I need to continue to work on? What do we need to do? Do I think that means that, you know, we're going to have a fallout this afternoon of many different sorts? At this point in the game, I'd believe anything. Could I believe that that would be something that could happen not even this year, maybe in 10 years? I may not even be walking the earth. I don't know at what point these things happen. But the point is it's obviously coming because people, you understand that it's not coming just because it's coming. They're making it happen for you. Make it happen. I don't think Mariah Carey had this type of lifestyle for everybody in mind when she wrote that song a long time ago. That was a good song. But the bottom line is, folks, everything that you're seeing is completely deliberate. You've been set up for many, many years to see what you're seeing right now. Now, some of you are going to go, what's she talking about? Charity, come in here. What is she talking about? Guys, come on. The last 3 years especially, with all of your lockdowns, all of your supply chain issues, everything is coming to a head, as they say, and that is by design, to put you in a moment of weakness, so that you either totally numb out to certain agendas or you accept what they want to dish to you. If you don't know what that means, you have a lot of homework to do, and you know that's just you know, I just gave you a homework assignment. It's okay, homework is good. So here's the thing, you have to say, I'm either going to tuck tail, I'm going to stick my head in the sand, or I'm going to stand up like a patriot, and I'm going to do the very doggone best that I can. For me, myself, and I, my family, my close friends, my children, my grandbabies, my farm, and my community, and my country. You're going to have to make that decision. You're going to go out like I did yesterday and stand in downtown Knoxville. I had to go to downtown Knoxville yesterday. Stood in the middle, almost at the edge. I stood at the edge of Gay Street, and I looked around, and I was like, sheeple, 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 bah, bah, bah. I did. And I'm not being mean. There are a lot of people that they know things are going on, but they don't have an understanding as to why or how. They are total hook, line, and sinker for total BS in terms of things are happening only because of one way. And, you know, these people will naturally submit themselves to total chaos, total trauma, total failure in their life. I don't want to be in that boat. I refuse to be in that boat. So you have to make that decision. Listen to me right now. If you have not started preparing your pantry and your home any which way you can, I'm going to scold you like your mamaw. Shame on you. Okay? Why? Why haven't you? Why? Now, somebody is going to sit back and say, I don't have the money, okay? You mean to tell me in the last year, you did not have the money to buy some extra beanie weenies, pasta, an extra blanket? You're telling me, because I'm sorry, I'm sure there is that one person that could qualify in this situation. Oh, my turkeys are coming down here. But I would say for 99.99% of all of us, that's not the case. You know that's not the case. I love it when people tell me they don't have the money to put anything in there. I had somebody tell me, I've said this before, I know somebody a long time ago that when, you know, we would have conversations about this, about preparing and trying to do things and getting certain things and whatever, just to make sure your home was more prepared. And she would say, I don't have the money. You know that girl went on 2 vacations that year? Yeah. Went on a cruise and went to the beach. in a 3-month span. She didn't have the money to prep her home. So see, I just don't have the sensitivity. I don't have the empathy, or I'm not biting off on the BS, and neither should you. Please prepare your home today. If you feel behind, well, hey, if you feel behind in all this, hey guys, if you feel behind in all of this, if you feel behind, welcome to our world. Okay, nobody's scolding you for being behind or feeling behind. It's about what are you doing today. Guys, they want you to fail. They don't want peace. I walked by the television last night. James was flipping channels, and I always tell him to turn on certain news channels because I like to see what people are saying, just to be nosy, Rosie. And the headline was, and I won't use names, but I bet you can guess. A certain world leader will not talk peace with somebody else until that particular leader is removed. Well, sir, you don't want peace then. So that, I have my opinions about a lot of things that are going on. I know a lot of channels don't like to get political. Everything that you're going through right now is political. Sorry to tell you, everything you're going through right now is completely political, because it's for absolute control, and it's for absolute submission from you, and it's to line dirty pockets with a lot of money. That's all this is, guys. Okay. I mean, you could say it's coming right out of the book of Revelation if you want. That's fine by me. We can talk that too. But what I know is don't believe the hype. We need everybody coming to the table trying to talk about as much realistic world peace as possible. They're not interested because they want your money, honey. They want control, honey. This side is poking this side really, really hard right now. Don't think they're not. So where does that leave us? Where does that leave you? Where does that leave the rest of us? Well, you better not be standing around with your pants down. Because I understand that necessarily we can't control a lot of these things. Well, actually, okay, that's a lie too. We really, really could. We are the majority. Never forget that. But let's keep it here for the moment. You absolutely need to be stockpiling as much physical food as you physically can. I understand inflation is absolutely ridiculous. And again, this is that I told you so. And that, when people say that, understand, I can only speak for me. I know there's a lot of buttholes out there, but I'm speaking to you right now from the I told you so, because I get people to come up and say, well, I didn't know this and I didn't know that. And I'm like, well, I told you so. What do you mean you didn't know? See, they don't want to accept the responsibility of they should have been doing something 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Now listen, I know the world's changed in the last 2 to 3 years, but here's the thing. I'm gonna have to put her back. Sister, you can't come out here, honey. If you are standing here today watching this video and you've been awake, meaning you actually opened your eyes today and you're breathing, which means you have lived the last 3 years that have gone by, and you don't have anything inside of you telling you to buy extra beanie weenies, you better start praying, because I don't believe that. Kick the devil off your shoulder and get very, very busy. You need to be going over your medical supplies. First of all, you better have water. Okay, water, water, water. You better be making sure that you have self-protection. I said that and majorly mean it. You better be making sure you have food supply. You better be making sure you have at least an alternative way to cook. Go outside, gather up rocks, and make sure you have some pieces of cast iron. You can cook all day long if you have wood all day long. It takes a long time. You will burn most of your food in order to learn to understand what's going on, but you can do it, period. Make a cowboy grill, make a marshmallow pit, okay? Okay? Yes. Make sure your medical supplies are in top shape right now. That includes cold medicines, that includes medications if you have special needs, your children have special needs, whatever. Go over all of these things. Folks, it's go time. Okay? It's go time. You don't get in a position of where you feel like you can at least make a video on a crispy Appalachia bake, okay? You don't get in these moments of a little bit of de-stressing if you haven't done anything. You still can live. You still need to live. I hear you, baby, okay? But you're going to feel better about yourself and you're going to feel better about what you're doing if you continue to prepare. It's a daily thing. This is not something you do on Saturday mornings only. No, this is your number one priority. And every bit counts. Hang on. Hey, now listen here, busybody. Okay, we good? We ready to go back? Well, that'll get your blood pumping early in the morning. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 deer showing up around the porch. Looks like a buck too. I'll try to get them, but listen. Don't apologize for what you're doing. Don't apologize for how you feel. Don't apologize for being proactive. And don't worry about the numbskulls that are offended by "I told you so." As long as you say it in the sense of the word of get busy. We've been saying this. You're not wrong. You're validated and you're right in finally seeing and waking up to what all is happening. Absolutely. Yes, I told you so, but I'm here to help you if you need help. I'm here to give you advice if you want it. We can't make people do things. I think a bug just flew in my hair. It's early morning. But guys, I feel you. I understand. We've been living the "I told you so" for a very, very, very long time. It doesn't make us feel good to say, "I told you so," but it doesn't change the reality, now does it? The important thing, however, is that you stay very, very busy and that you encourage people to stay very, very busy and to have a plan. Don't you dare stop now. Like I said, hammer down. If nothing ever happens, great, wonderful, I love it. That's what we want. We want peace. We want love. We want security. We want the Lord. We want apple butter, right? We don't want all this hot mess. But it's going to be you to decide what we have. It's going to be you that decides what you have. Just understand that now. Guys, a lot of videos coming up. We're going to be talking a lot of stuff. Got a lot of emails to talk about, a lot of things. I am going to throw in some different videos. If I'm cooking something or doing something, I'm going to make, that's, we have to live too. We have to raise our kids. We have to cook apple pie. We have to feed our cows and love our barn kittens. We have to live too, okay? We have to live too. Don't you dare forget that. I appreciate you being here, guys. It's going to be a busy week. And remember, you told them so. We'll see you on the next video.